What's happening, YouTube? LTH coming at you with a Monday morning video. So, as I understand, the Texans fell in a Mile High City 16-9. I scored 16-9. And what sucks that the Texans didn't score a single touchdown. Even with the opportunities in the red zone, they still failed to do so, settling for 3 field goals. And I can't be mad at the Broncos defense for doing what they had to do. If it meant holding Houston to 9 points. The defense, they did their thing. They did what they had to do. Even though Stingley was getting pretty beat up, majority of the game by Sutton. And I understand he's just a rookie. And the Broncos, they lost Jerry Jeudy. I hope he's all right, along with Patrick Surtain, who they also going to need for their next game when they take on the 49ers. But what's messed up was this offense was predictable and couldn't capitalize, because Texans needed to attack that Broncos secondary, and they couldn't do that. Dameon Pierce was the bright spot. Nico Collins, and Brandon Cooks, but Davis Mills, man, that dude was overwhelmed, man. He was overwhelmed. He looked like crap. Yeah, he didn't throw a pick, but he also didn't throw a TD pass. That man, he shook. Missed simple throws, wide open throws that could have helped us, gave us first downs. I did say they had to, at least, if they didn't score a TD in the first half, I posted on Twitter, at least score touchdowns in the second half, and they failed to do that. Also clean up the penalties. I gotta say, they were pretty undisciplined as hell, man. I know the Broncos had more penalties, but it don't erase the fact that both teams were undisciplined, which is inexcusable at that. Meaning you're not gonna beat anybody playing undisciplined. The defense can only hold for that long, when the offense ain't really doing a lot. If they came across teams like the Patrick Mahomes, Tua Tagovailoa, who had a career day yesterday against the Ravens on a comeback win. Well, hell, even Trevor Lawrence, who beat the Colts yesterday, led the Jags to a victory against the Colts. Or anybody, Texas would. 9 times out of 10, Houston would get killed. So, I know they're rebuilding, but there's no excuse to why they're not putting points on the board. And Pep, I know it's your first year, man, but the playbook's got to be wide, man. Play calling got to get more aggressive going forward, because the Texans didn't promote you, the offensive coordinator, to be predictable, man. I don't like that. Got to get it together, Yeah, I know it's only the second week, but Titus Howard got beat by Randy Gregory, who strip sacked Davis Mills, and Tonto got hit with a holding call, and Justin Britt didn't play. I don't know what his deal was. Tyler Johnson and Philip Dorsett didn't play, and Garrett Wallow didn't play. So, the 3 names I just named I hope to see next week against Chicago. And Kevin Pierre-Louis went down today, but yesterday, I'm tripping. But got to see Thomas Booker in action, so hopefully Kevin Pierre-Louis is okay. Hope it's nothing serious. Stingley went down, but thankfully he came back. Christian Kirksey got him a pick, thanks to that hit Jalen Petrie delivered, which led to the ball coming out of the receiver's hands and going into Kirksey's hands. That was the only turnover Houston forced. I haven't said this before, but if that was one thing the Texans lack more in their history is a killer instinct. You know, get comfortable leads, but tend to choke them away. Small leads or big leads. No lead is safe. You can't hold on to them. It had insurance touchdowns, which is part of developing the killer instinct. You know, defense played with emotional toughness, but offense, not so much. I mean, definitely got to go watch some film and definitely got to practice their ass off this week. Hell, if it means got to run some laps after all them penalties they committed. And Davis Mills needs to get his shit together, because this year is not a game for him. It's not a game. I mean, I know it's going to take some time for this team to gel, but man, they need to get it together quickly, because they got the Bears coming up, and and the Bears got a pretty good backfield, which is pretty deadly. You know, Justin Fields, another mobile quarterback who is a second year out of Ohio State. And Bears ain't no, I mean, I know they're also rebuilding, but Bears doesn't seem to be pushovers at all. You know, the team who upset the 49ers week 1. And I know I predicted them to win, but Jacksonville seemed to be the only team in the division that showed up. Now it's going to depend how Tennessee does tonight against Buffalo, which I'm going to have my eyes glued on that game. But offense needs to get it together, man. Work on some fundamentals, you know, figure out how they can be more disciplined. And it starts with cutting down on those stupid ass penalties, because those stupid penalties always seem to piss off every Texas fan, including me. You know. And like I said, Dameon Pierce was the brighter spot. You know, got to had some good runs, but once they stopped giving him the ball, I mean, which I didn't understand why, but what can I say? Got to move on. Let's focus on the Chicago Bears come week 3. And hopefully that offense can get it together, man. Because if not, they in trouble. That's all I got to freaking say. But shout out to Broncos country, man. I mean, I know it was sloppy for both teams, but the Broncos ended up getting the win by a score of 16-9, you know, in sloppy fashion. So both Denver and Houston got a lot of cleaning up to do, you know, as the season progresses. It's early in the year, and let's see what week 3 brings. So that's my Monday recap for the day. You know, I got to shout out Mile High 6, David from Colorado, Kobe Sports, A Fizzle, Lady Self, and Savage Self Sonetos. Hold on, let me say it again. Oh, and Corman, shout out to you, bro. And I wish all the Broncos conjure the best in all of 2022. And yeah, Broncos, I mean, get their key players back. Broncos gonna be all right, man. And here is a bright side for Broncos country. I mean, they're not currently in last place like the Raiders, who blew a 20-3 lead against Arizona yesterday. So that's some good news for Broncos country. But till my next video, which is either be my, most likely going to be my preview video for the Chicago Bears. LTH checking on up out of here. Always forever. Go Houston Texans. 7-13 to Bayou City. I'm gone.